Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I always felt a bit unanchored growing up. My mother, Leslie, was a creature of habit and stern routines. She loved me in her way, but it was a love laced with a palpable anxiety, an almost obsessive need to keep me close indoors, away from certain things. Specifically, away from the deep, whispering woods that pressed in on our property in Oakhaven, nestled against the ancient witchgrass ridge. She'd say, "The wild has teeth, Hazel, and it bites deeper than you think." When she died last autumn, quietly in her sleep, a part of me felt a strange release, mingled with the expected grief. I inherited the house, a sprawling, creaking Victorian that had been in our family for generations, a house that always felt more like a tomb to me. Clearing it out was an overwhelming task. Every dusty cabinet, every forgotten drawer seemed to hold another fragment of her meticulously ordered but oddly secretive life. It was in her study, a room she'd always kept locked, that I found it. Behind a loose floorboard, concealed beneath a stack of dry ledgers, was a tightly bound, desiccated pouch. It felt cool, almost damp despite its appearance, and gave off a faint, earthy scent, a mix of damp soil, ancient moss, and something else, something sharp and strangely metallic. When I unwrapped the coarse burlap, what I found inside made my breath hitch. The object was unlike anything I'd ever seen. It was a dense, intricately woven mat about the size of a small blanket, but instead of fabric, it was made of compacted earth and gnarled, brittle roots. It wasn't dead. It felt dormant. As I touched it, a faint vibration seemed to hum against my fingertips, and the earthy smell intensified, filling the room. Tucked beneath this root skin, as I instinctively named it, was a folded, yellowed letter, addressed to me in my mother's familiar, tight script. My hands trembled as I opened it. "Hazel, my dearest child, if you are reading this, I have failed. I spent my life trying to keep you safe from what lurks in the bloodline, from the pull of the earth itself. Your Aunt Zoe, she didn't just get sick, Hazel. She answered the call. I tried to save her just as I tried to save you. I took the skin from her, thinking I could sever the connection, but it only hastened her fatting. She wasn't human anymore, not truly. She was becoming part of the ridge, drawn into the ancient pulse of witchgrass. Destroy this thing, Hazel. Bury it in salt, burn it if you can. It speaks to a part of you that isn't meant to be awakened. Don't let it take you too." The letter trailed off into incoherent scribbles about roots and whispers and the ground remembering. My mother's anxiety suddenly made terrifying sense. My forgotten Aunt Zoe, who died before I was born, whose name was rarely spoken, was not just sick. She had been claimed. I should have destroyed the root skin then, but a strange, compelling curiosity held me back. The moment my fingers touched it, a faint resonance had echoed deep within me, like a forgotten chord struck. I started having vivid dreams. I was no longer dreaming of people or events, but of the forest itself. I felt the slow, patient growth of roots seeking water, the deep, rumbling hunger of the soil, the intricate network of mycelium connecting every living thing beneath the canopy. I'd wake up with the taste of rich earth in my mouth, my skin tingling as if covered in dew. During the day, the house felt stifling. The woods, which my mother had so fiercely protected me from, now called to me with an irresistible allure. I started taking long walks, sometimes barefoot, feeling the cool, damp soil between my toes, an entirely new sensation that felt both alien and profoundly right. The sense of pine needles and decaying leaves, the rustle of unseen creatures, the wind sighing through the ancient oaks, they were no longer just background noise. They were conversations, secrets, lullabies. I felt more alive, more attuned than I ever had before, but also subtly less human. I'd find myself drawn to the root skin, tucked away in my bedside table now, no longer hidden. I'd pick it up, feeling the cool thrum against my palms, and for moments I felt complete. The unanchored feeling I'd carried my whole life vanished, replaced by a deep, undeniable connection to the land around me. But when I looked in the mirror, my eyes seemed too wide, too dark, reflecting the forest light with an unsettling intensity. My skin, usually pale, had a faint, earthy flush, and my hair seemed perpetually tangled with unseen debris. One night the dreams became too real. I woke with a jolt, my sheets soaked, not with sweat, but with something cold and damp that smelled distinctly of marshland. An undeniable urge pulled me. I picked up the root skin, now seemingly pulsing with a faint internal light, and walked out of the house, drawn like a moth to a flame, deeper into the witchgrass ridge. The moon was full, casting long, skeletal shadows through the trees. I stopped in a clearing, where the ancient oaks grew thick and gnarled, their roots breaking through the surface like enormous, grasping fingers. The air here was heavy, thick with the scent of wet earth and something ancient, something that had witnessed millennia. I unwrapped the root skin, and as it lay revealed under the moonlight, it seemed to unfold, to expand. I saw it then, not a mat of roots, but a shimmering, almost translucent husk within it, a ghostly silhouette, perfectly human-shaped, tangled in the fibrous growth. Aunt Zoe. Her eyes, or where her eyes should have been, seemed to gaze at me, serene and wild. A silent invitation. The root skin began to hum, a low, resonant thrum that vibrated through my bones, urging me to put it on, to step into that waiting embrace, to shed the last vestiges of my fragile humanity and become truly one with the earth, with the ridge, with Zoe. The temptation was immense, an almost unbearable sweetness promising ultimate belonging. I reached out, my fingers brushing the cool, living surface of the root skin. For a moment I saw myself, a vision of me lying on the forest floor, becoming part of the root system, my skin like bark, my hair like moss. I felt the incredible peace of simply being, without thought, without fear, only the slow, deep pulse of the world. But then a flicker of my mother's desperate face, her warning in that letter, pierced through the haze. A wave of terror, cold and stark, broke the spell. I snatched my hand back, scrambling away, knocking the root skin into the gnarled roots of an oak. It seemed to shiver, then glow with a fatting, angry red light before settling back into its inert, earthy form. I ran back to the house, heart hammering, gasping for breath, the earthy scent clinging to my clothes, my skin, my very soul. I found a metal box, lined it with salt, and sealed the root skin inside, burying it deep under the stone patio my mother had built, a desperate attempt to sever a connection I now know runs deeper than any object or any grave. I don't know if I truly destroyed it, or if I only delayed the inevitable. The woods still call, Hazel still hears, and sometimes when I walk barefoot, I swear I can feel the earth humming, waiting for me to fully answer.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.